Hello everyone and Namaste. In this video I am going to discuss about a very small project that is recently completed by me. So this project is for those people who have recently completed learning some server-side web programming language, but still they don't have any idea about implementing their knowledge to some project that makes them learn further, learn the new technologies, learn the new problem solving skills that they need when they start working professionally as a back-end web developer. So introducing this project is named as Library Management System. The short form is LMS. Okay, so talking about this project has some basic features that library management software usually have. I'm talking just about the basic feature. Okay, so if I have to complete the project to make it as a commercial library management system, then this project would be a much more bigger one. So this is a mini version of that project, just assume like that. Okay, so introducing the project, on the left hand side, as you can see, these are the files that I've created in order to complete the project. And now I want to discuss about some technologies, packages and frameworks that I have used in order to complete my project. So let me start. So talking about framework, I want to start with Express. Express is used to create web server, and I have used Express to create the web server and to process the request from clients. Next is Mongoose. Mongoose.js is an open source framework for MongoDB database. It provides a real-world object-oriented modeling to that database. Next, I want to talk about Json Web Token. Json Web Token is used for authenticating users at server side. And another technology that I have used is Multer. Multer is used for handling file upload at the server side. Next one, Jest, for testing out the whole application that I am going to show at the end of this video. I have used this Jest. So this Jest is a very good tool for testing applications written in languages like JavaScript and TypeScript, and it supports various technologies, as you can see here, like Node, React, Angular, Vue, etc. And lastly, I want to discuss about Sharp. Sharp is a package that is used to resize image at server side before delivering it to the client. So I have just discussed some really essential packages that I have used in order to complete this project. Besides, there are some other one also, but you can use any type of package you like. But for JavaScript developer who want to complete this project using Node technology, I highly recommend using these packages and other packages as you require in order to complete your project. Sorry everyone, I have to stop my recording previously due to some important work, and I was really busy till yesterday due to some important tasks, but now I am recording the remaining part of this video demonstrating about the project. So talking about the database used in this project, so there are two databases, as you can see, this LMS and LMS test. LMS is the main database, and this LMS test is just used for testing purposes. It is used by the tool that I have used for testing called Jest, as I have discussed about it previously. Okay, let's come back to my application. As you can see on the left hand side, these are the project files that I have created in order to complete my project. So let me start the terminal. Okay, the terminal has already started. So let me fire up my project. Okay, so for firing up my project, I have created a script that I have used for development purpose. Okay, just for development purpose. As you can see in this package.json file, I have created my script called dev. So this dev script is used to configure the environment variable and to start my application. I have used nodemon in order to start my application, to monitor my application. So let me fire up my application right now. So npm, I can start this script by using npm run dev. Now let's see, the server has started on port 3000. So next up, I have used postman in order to create a request to my application. So in short, this is a REST API. So the request to that API is sent by this postman application. Okay, so let me begin with creating a user. For creating any user, you have to define the role for the user. So in this application there are 3 roles, namely librarian, staff and student. So for creating librarian, you don't have to be logged in or any authentic user. You can easily create a librarian. But for creating other type of users like staff and student, you have to be logged in as a librarian. You have to be an authentic librarian for creating staff and student. Let me show you. So let me create a student. Okay, so let me copy this one. So copy and let me paste this one in here. Okay, so let me send the request. Now look here what I have got. Please authenticate. That means I have not been logged in. So if I have been logged in as a librarian, then I can create the user. So let me first create an account for librarian. So let me create an account for librarian. I have to copy this one and paste, and let me send the request. So let us see, I have got a response, a JSON response from my server. So along with the response, I have got an authentication token. You can see here. So this authentication token is used for keeping me logged into the application. Okay, so as soon as I create a librarian account, I am automatically logged in as the librarian just created. So as we can see, I have been automatically logged in. We can see in the environment variables, so authentication token, look at here, the last 3 character is CU8, and we can see here the token, the last 3 character is CU8. So with this token I have been automatically logged in. So let me create another user. So let's copy this one. I want to create a student. So let me paste and send this. Now look here, my response. Okay, I didn't get any token at this time because only while creating librarian I get the token back to auto login. For creating other user, I didn't get any token back. So let me create more users. Okay, so one more thing to notice is that while creating a user, you have to be aware about this email address. Okay, this email address is a unique field. The email address of one user should not match another. So if I try to resend the same request again for creating the user, then look here, I have got an error. So I got an error saying that duplicate key error collection, email 1 duplicate key. So this application doesn't allow the registration of same email address. Okay, so I have successfully created 5 users for my application. As you can see in the database that I have created 5 users. Okay, in this LMS the collection name is user. So as you can see, I have just now created 5 users. So let me expand this. So as you can see here, there are 5 users. So now let me, as you know that I am currently logged in as a librarian, let me log out first of all. this logout request helps me to log out from the application. Now I have been logged out successfully. Okay, so let me check the token. Okay, the token is still here, but I have been logged out by the application. At the server side, this token is already deleted. Now this token is no more valid for authentication. So next, let me log in as a user. Okay, not as a librarian but as a staff. So let me log in as gmail.com, and the password is same. So now I have got a new token. As you can see here, the token is this one. Now let me create a user. As I have explained previously, normal user except librarian cannot create any user. Okay, so let me create this user. Let me send the request. As you can see, I have got an error response saying that only librarian is allowed to create users. Now further, let me log out first, and let me log in back as a librarian. Okay, let me log in back as the same librarian, anilman@gmail.com. Now I have been logged in as a librarian with this authentication token. So as you can see in here, when I reload this one, I can see as a librarian I have one token object. And let me log in again one time. Okay, now I have been logged in the second time and I have another token. That means this feature is usually useful to support login across the multiple devices. Okay, so now I have two. Okay, so now I have two tokens for different devices. Okay, so as you can see here, okay, for this librarian account, now I have two tokens. These two tokens are for different devices. So now let me show you this feature, log out all. Log out all feature means logging out from every devices that you have logged in up to now. So let me fire up this request. Okay, so as I got a response from the server saying that I have been logged out from all devices, let me check the database now again. Let me reload. Okay, so okay, now look here, Anilman's register librarian, there is no token. That means I have been completely logged out from the application. So now let me show you get all user features. Okay, this lists every users that have been registered in my application. So let me send the request. At first I cannot list all the users unless I am authenticated. So let me log into my application. So log in as a staff. Okay, so let me log in. So now I have been successfully logged in. So I want to get all the users. So this is also the authority for librarians only. So let me log in back as the same librarian and then send. Now I am logged in as the librarian. So let me get all users. Let me send the request. Now you can see I have got all the users as you can see in this database. Okay, but some fields I have filtered out in this response. Look, I have filtered out tokens, passwords, etc. Okay, the password saved into the database is hashed password. There is no plain text in the password. Okay, the password is hash version of the plain text provided by the user. So next is read profile. As a librarian I can read profile. Okay, any one profile. I can view anyone's profile as a librarian. So currently now I am logged in as a librarian. So let me view the profile of a user. Okay, so first of all let me get all users, and I want to view the profile of this user. So let me copy his ID and I want to paste his ID at the URL. Okay, this is the user this is the ID of the user whose profile I want to view. So let me send the request, and what I got, Now is the information about the user, his all information as well as the book issued by him. Okay, so the another feature is update. Update user helps me updating the user. For example, I can update this user as, okay, for updating any user I have to supply the ID of the user that I want to update at the URL. Okay, so let me copy the same ID, copy, and let me paste, and then Saugat Sigdel, let it be Saugat Prasad Sigdel. Okay, and the password is now Nepali. Let me send this. Okay, the user is now successfully updated. So as we can see, when I send get all request or when I view this profile, as you can see the informations are successfully updated. Okay, back after some work. Now I want to show you delete operation after update operation. So for deleting any user from the database, you need to supply the ID of user at the URL. Okay, so first of all I need to view all users in the database, and now I want to delete this user, for example. So I have copied the ID of this, so I have copied the ID of this user. Now I am pasting the ID at this URL. Okay, so now let me fire up the request. As you can see that I have got a request from the server now that a document from the database has been deleted. So we can verify the delete operation from the database also. As we can see, okay, the user that I had deleted doesn't exist anymore, the user has gone. So this is how delete operation works. Okay, now done with deleting users. Now the next operation is creating authors. Okay, now authors are those person who writes books. So for creating author we need two parameters. The first field is name of the author, and the second field is the email address of the author. So I am creating author from here. Okay, copying and pasting for quick demo. So one author has been created. As you can see in here, I am getting back response from the server with a status 201. Okay, so as a response I am getting the ID, name and the email of the author. Now let me create 5 authors. Okay, now I have successfully created 5 authors in the database, and we can view those authors from this request. Let me fire up this request, list all. So this request is going to fetch every single author from the database. Now the next operation I want to show you is adding books written by authors. Okay, so let me open this request, add book. So adding book has a specific format. As you can see, it is a post request, post HTTP request that consists of a body which further has a JSON data that is in this format. So the format for JSON data is the JSON data must contain these fields: title, ISBN, price, pages, quantity and authors. Okay, the first these fields looks normal. Okay, compared to previous one they are the same, but here is a different field known as author. An author field is an array in this case. So the array consisting of IDs of authors, as we know that a book can be written by many authors, or it can also be written by a single author. So the ID of author is supplied in here in this array format. Okay, so now let me create a book. The name of book is Think and Grow Rich. I know that ISBN is not in the correct format. okay, but let it be like this. And this ISBN is unique for every book. Like the email for user, no any two books can have same ISBN. According to my program is designed in that way. So let other parameters be the same. Now I want to grab ID of this one author, and I'm going to paste this here. And second, okay, this, let us assume that the book is written by two authors. Okay, I know it is written by Napoleon Hill, but this is for demo purpose only. Okay, so I have got a response back from the server. The response states that two authors have been added with the information of this book. Okay, so now next I want to show list all books. If I fire up this request, okay, as you can see, just now I have added a single book and I am getting the book back. Now let me add couple of books to my database so that I can demonstrate the full functionality of this application. Okay, so I am adding some couple of books. Okay, now I have successfully created some books in my library. As we can see here in the database, I have created 7 books. Now let me demonstrate some other features. Okay, so the first feature is list all books. This request is a GET request that fetches out every book present in the library. Okay, so a library may have thousands of books. At that condition, we have to apply some filter conditions in order to filter out the book and make this list shorter and quite user friendly. Okay, so for this small project, this is okay, I think. Okay, now next feature I want to demonstrate is author books. Okay, so this request fetches out the books written by this particular author. Okay, this portion of URL is the ID of author. So to demonstrate this, I am going to copy this ID and I will paste this ID here, okay, at this portion, and let me fire up this request. As a result from the server, I have got 2 books. Okay, I have got 3 books written by this author. So let me try another. Okay, this one. Okay, sent. Okay, I got a response back from the server. As we can see here, our library consists of 1 book written by this author. Okay, now the next request I want to discuss is about deleting an author. Deleting an author or deleting a book is just the similar operation like deleting a user document from a database collection. So I think I don't have to discuss this request anymore. And the next request is add book. I have already explained. List all books. Okay, I have already explained this one. Add book cover. Okay, so let me discuss about adding a book cover. Okay, now I want to discuss about adding a cover image for a book. This request is different from previous one because this request doesn't send JSON data in the body. Rather, this request sends an image to the server, okay, for file upload. This is about handling file upload by the server. So let me add a cover for a particular book. So let me click on select files on the desktop. Okay, I want to select this book and open it. Okay, then for which book, this is the ISBN of book for which I want to add this cover. So let me view the books present in my library. So list all books and then list out. Okay, so where is Think and Grow Rich? Okay, this one. So the ISBN is here, so let me copy this ISBN and let me paste in here. So let me send the request. Okay, now here we can see that the image has been uploaded successfully to the database with this name. Okay, so here is one validation condition for image upload. So let me remove this book. Okay, now let me add another cover for the same book. Okay, let me add this cover and send it to the server. Now look here, I have got an error, file too large. Now this is the validation condition about file upload. The size of file cannot exceed 1 MB. Okay, that's the validation condition. So the next request I want to demonstrate is that getting a book cover. Okay, getting a book cover means displaying the image present at the server side for the particular book. As I have seen, adding a book cover for this page. Okay, let me copy the ISBN of this book. For getting this book cover, I am not going to use Postman because I am going to get some messed up data. So as I'll send this request, as you can see the response, oh my god, this is completely hanging up the application. Okay, now it's okay. So instead I'm going to use a browser. Okay, so let me open up Firefox, my browser, and let me paste. Oh sorry, so localhost colon 3000 is my server and port. So what is the request? Get book cover, book slash get book cover slash ISBN of the book. As we can see, the book cover is here, and this image is the resized version of the image that I have uploaded to the server. As I have told you about the tool I have used, about the package known as Sharp. I have used Sharp package or Sharp library to resize this image before delivering it to the client. Okay, now the next request I want to discuss is add existing book. So sometimes there are some condition in a library that a librarian want to get an additional copy of existing book in a library. So for that purpose I have created this request. So first of all, let's view all the books present in the library. Okay, so where is that? List all books, and let me view all the books now. Okay, so now I want to add one more copy of this book to my library. Let me copy its ID. And what is that? Add existing book. Okay, in the body I am going to paste the ISBN of the book. Okay, sorry, I have copied its ID. I need to copy its ISBN. So let me paste its ISBN, and then the quantity is 1. So I want to add one book. This means if I have written 2, then it would be added by 2. Then the quantity would be added by 2. So let me add 1 and send. Now look here, one document has been updated in the library. So as I list all books, now look here, the particular book quantity is 5 now. Okay, now let me show you book issuing feature of this application. Only a librarian can make either a staff or a student issue a book. That means if a staff or a student want to issue a book, then he or she must visit the librarian for issuing the book. Now currently I am logged in as a librarian, so let me issue a book for a user. Okay, so first of all, issue a book request looks like this. The data is sent to server via URL and via the body of the request. The data in the URL is the ID of the user for whom the book is to be issued, and the ISBN is the book that is issued by this particular user. Okay, so now let me grab a book and a user for issuing. So let me take this book, ISBN, copy this and then paste it here. Okay, that is the same one. Okay, then student, this one, let me copy his ID, Control C, and let me paste it here, and let me send the request. As you can see in the response of the server, there are two parts. Okay, the first part is the book that is issued just now, and the second part is the information about the issuer. Okay, as you can see, up to now the issuer has issued only one book. So notice another thing, the quantity of book is now 19. Previously, before issuing, the quantity of the book was 20. Okay, now the quantity of book is 19. Now let me issue this book once more. So let me issue this book once more. So as you can see in here, here is an error message saying that book has already been issued. That means a single user can issue a single copy of a book. He could not issue multiple copy of a book. Okay, now a librarian can view a book issued by all users. Okay, for this particular user we can view the book issued. Okay, look here, the remaining days is 5. After 5 days this user will be charged ₹2 per day. Okay, as a fine. Right now the fine is 0. Everything is calculated by the application. So either a librarian or the user himself can view this information. So the next before showing the next feature, let me add couple of books. Okay, for this user, let me issue couple of books for this user. So I have already issued this one. Let me issue this one, Control C, copy, and here Control V, paste, send the request. Okay, now this user has two books. Okay, so again the third book, Control C, copy, and here Control V, paste. Now the user has 3 books. Okay, 1 2 3. Now again more 2 books, copy and then paste it here, send. So this user has issued this user have issued 1 2 3 4 books up to now. 2 more books. Okay, not 1, 2 more books. Control C and then Control V at here, send. Now this user has issued a total of 5 books, 1 2 3 4 5. Now if I try to issue one more book, then his quota is already fulfilled. Okay, so Control V, send the request. Now you can see the error message. Okay, now you can see the error message saying that cannot issue more than 5 books for the student. Now his quota is full. Now there is another feature for returning a book. If a student want to return a book, then there is another request for returning a book. For this is the ID of student returning the book, and this is the ISBN of the book that is to be returned. Okay. Okay, now let me demonstrate how you return a book. Okay, returning a book also requires an ID of the person who want to return a book and the ISBN of the book to be returned at the body. ID goes to the URL. So first of all, let me see all the books that this user have issued. So right now here are 4 books. Okay, for testing I have already returned a book, so let me return this book. Control C and then paste its ISBN at this place and send. So this book is now returned. Okay, so as we can see here, the book is no more at this place. Okay, the book has returned to the library. Now the book is in its full quantity. Now for demonstrating another thing, let me issue this particular book for multiple users. So copy this one and then paste for this user and send this. Okay, for one user I have issued the book, so for this user also let me issue this book, send. Okay, now the quantity of book is 2. For more 3 users, for this user, Control C, paste it here. Okay, now there is only one book remaining, okay, in the library. So let me copy this ID and then paste it in here. Okay, let's paste it and let's send the request. Okay, so the book, this particular book is out of stock in the library. So if I want to issue one more book for a user, then let me try this one. Okay, so let me try 1 2 3 4. Oh, there are only 4 users. Let me create an additional user for that. So let me create a user. Okay, body. Okay, his role is staff. Let me send the request. Okay, get all users. Okay, now the newly created user, let me issue a book for him. Okay, the same book for him. Control V, and when I send the request, then I get this response, no more book left. That means this particular book is out of stock in the library. So now I want to demonstrate last feature, okay, of this book, of this library application. So second last feature, okay, not last but second last feature of this application. The second last feature is a user can, or a librarian can, view the book. So that is, a librarian or a user can see book issued by him. Okay, a librarian can view book issued by any user, whereas a user can view the book issued by him. For example, I want to view the book issued by this particular student. Okay, this lovely book. As I can see from here also, there are 3 books issued right now. So but if I want to see in more detail about these books, then let me copy his ID and then where is that, my issued books, and let me paste this in here. Okay, the ID, then send. Now look here, these are the books issued by this particular user. Okay, yeah, we can see this one in detail. Remaining days, how many days remaining, how many days are remaining for returning this book in order to be safe from fine, and other information are also present in here, as you can see. So, and the last feature is book issuers. Okay, for example, a book is out of stock, right? This book right now, let me see. Okay, this book is out of stock, 0 quantity. So I want to see the users who have issued this book, due to which this book has ran out of stock right now. As you can see in this request, it is a GET request, and you can view the issuers of this particular book. Okay, the ISBN of the book is passed in the URL of the GET request. Okay, after passing this, the response is the issuers of this particular book. As I send this request, I can see here is an empty array. That means this book is not issued by anyone. So let me get the list of all book first. So now, as we can see in this second one, okay, this book is out of stock, quantity is 0. Now I want to find that which issuers have issued this book so that the stock has been 0. So let me copy the ISBN and paste in the URL and send this request. So now, as you can see, these are the issuers of the book. Okay, so finally now I have completely shown the features of the app that I have recently made. This is a small project. You can try this at your free time, and the maximum time that this project can take is about 1 week. Okay, that is enough time. If you give 1 to 2 hours per day, okay, that would be enough for you. Okay, all the best and thank you. Okay, now lastly, this is the time to show the testing of my application. As I have previously mentioned that I have used Jest package for testing of my application. As you can see in this package.json file, I have created a script name as test. Okay, so this script is used to test my application using Jest package. So let me run this script, npm run test. So as you can see, the test has started. Let me press A to rerun the test again. Okay, so now the test has started, running the first test suite that has passed, second test suite has also passed, and finally the third test suite has passed. Now I have all test suite passed, and as you can see in the left hand side, I have 3 files. Okay, the first file tests the author router, okay, this field, and the second file tests book router, and the third file tests this user router. Okay, so there are altogether 37 tests in these 3 test suites. So this is all about my project. Okay, so this is the end of the video. Thank you for watching till the end.